it will say Complaint for Protection from Abuse. In row A, you will check off whether you are in Box 1, Boston Municipal Court, Box 2, District Court, Box 3, Probate and Family Court, Box 4, Superior Court, or lastly, if not in any of the others, fill in your division. In row B, you will write in your full name in Box 1. In row C, check off the top box if you are 18 or older. Check the second box if you are under the age of 18, then write your age. The second blank line in row C, you will write in your relationship to the defendant. The last box you will check off if the defendant is 18 or older. In row D, write whether they have a license to carry or possess ammunition and/or firearms. Row E, you will check off the first box if no, and second box if yes, to whether there is a pending court actions in any state or country involving the plaintiff and defendant. In row I, on the line, list the date/dates you suffered abuse from the defendant. Mark the first box if the defendant attempted to cause you physical harm. Check the box below it if the defendant caused you physical harm. The box on the top right, in row I, you would check off if the defendant placed you in fear of imminent serious physical harm. Below that box, check it off if the defendant caused you to engage in sexual relations by force, threat, or duress. On the top right of row F, you will write in the defendant's full name. In the box next to that, check off the first box if you are a male, and check off the second box if they are a female. Row G, define the relationship between the plaintiff and the defendant. Check the top box if currently married to each other. Check the second box if you were formerly married to each other. Check the third box if you are not married but are related to each other by either blood, marriage, then on the blank line, state what the defendant is to you. In the fourth box, are they parents of one or more children? Check box 5 if you are not related but live in the same household. Box 6, check off if you are or were in a dating or engagement relationship. Row H, check off the first box if the plaintiff does not have children under the age of 18. Check the second box if they do. Row J is asking what you want from the court. The top box would be checked off if you want to order the defendant to stop abusing you by harming, threatening, or attempting to harm you physically, or placing you in fear of imminent serious physical harm by using force, threat, or duress to make you engage in sexual relations. Box 2 will be checked off if you want to order the defendant not to contact you unless authorized by the court. Box 3A will be checked off if you want to order the defendant to leave and remain away from your residence, and then visit the plaintiff confidential information form if you live in an apartment or other family dwelling. Check the box on the right. Box 3B will be checked off if you want to order the defendant to leave and remain away from the workplace. Box 3C will be checked if you want to order the defendant to leave and remain away from the school. Box 4 will be checked off if you want to order that your residential address does not appear on the order. Box 4B will be checked off if you want to order that your workplace address not appear on the order. Box 4C will be checked off if you want to order that your school address not appear on the order. Box 5 will be checked off if you want the defendant to pay you in compensation from the direct result of abuse. If marked, write on the first line the amount of money you want from the defendant. On the second line, list the losses suffered as a direct result of abuse. Box 6 will be checked off if you want to order the defendant, who has legal obligation to do so, to pay you temporary support. Box 7 will be checked off if you want to order the relief requested on page 2 of this complaint pertaining to your minor child or children. Box 8 will be checked off to request the following and fill in your request underneath. Box 9 will be checked off if you want to order the relief that you have requested except for temporary support for you and your children, and for compensation for losses suffered without advance notice to the defendant because there is a substantial likelihood of imminent danger of abuse. You understand that if the court issues such a temporary order, should be continued, and you must appear in court on that day if you wish the order to be continued. On the bottom left corner, write in today's date. In the box next to it, write in your signature. This is the affidavit section. This is where you will describe in detail the most recent incidents of abuse. The judge requires as much information as possible, such as what happened, each person's actions, dates, locations, injury, and any medical or other service sought. Also, describe any history of abuse with as much of the above detail as possible. Unless the court allows a motion to impound, this affidavit will be public record, including any names or specific addresses involved in this affidavit.